morning. It's Sunday morning, the 12th of April, and it's still cold. So I thought I'd come down to the shop this morning and have a tinker around doing things. One of the things I like to do is salvage all the bolts for an R380, or any gearbox really. But the customer in this instance supplied me with a bag of bolts from Ashcroft's. I'm not sure how much they were. Were they 16 or 18 pounds? I'll put the correct price down here. But there is a problem. On the front cover, right where the front pinion goes, they supply these. But these are the ones that come out. Alright? They're 5mm, these are 5mm longer. I'm not sure if Dave knew about this. I'm going to write to him and tell him. But if you put the long bolts in through the cover to hold the cover onto the casing, the head, the bottom of the bolt will hit the lay shaft. So when you try to turn it, it won't turn. You'll see me find out that when I was building this video. I'm putting a video together of all the errors and things like that you can make with an R380 rather than showing you how to do it step by step, but something to watch for. So how do I do it? Well, it's kind of simple really. I've got this plate here and I buy these captive nuts off Amazon and I stick them on, and that allows me to put the bolts in here, right, and sandblast them and paint them without touching them. But first of all, what I do is I will put them through a die nut to clean them up. Here's the die nut down here in the vise, and by using your impact gun with a socket thing on the end, oh, it's all fuzzy, isn't it? You can clean up the threads in next to no time. Doesn't have to be an impact, but that speeds the job along. This is a double hex bolt, you know, these heads here, but they'll work just as equally for the single hex. And then you can put them all into your plate down here and they're ready to sandblast. So I'll finish these off and I'll show you when I've sandblasted them. Once out the sandblaster, you need to blow off the sand. There we go. And now they're ready for paint. Now the beauty about doing them like this is that as you're taking the bolts out, you can put them on this plate and then you're not losing any bolts. They're not scattered all over the wind. Now the reason why I use the die nut here, it's not to chase threads as such, damaged threads. It's to get any Loctite or sealer out of the threads so that when you put them back in, it'll be nice and clean, that you're not binding up, if you see what I mean. Because if you got thread Loctite on the threads and you're trying to torque them down, you could get the wrong setting. So now we'll give them a quick paint. Now this is what you call cold galvanizing paint. I'll show you it in a minute. But I get under the heads like that and onto the shafts, the shank. This can's about on its last legs. And then I'll do the heads. And they'll come up lovely, because you can do them from different angles. And as you can see there, they're all kind of nice. Now the beauty about this is, this particular paint, this is Volta Zinc, or Volta Zinc 100. This is the bright finish. The 200 is the dull finish. I like the bright finish. It's not cheap, but it's good. And there we go. There was a nice set of bolts, all nice and clean, ready to put Loctite on and assemble into your job. And you haven't lost any. Now if you haven't got a sandblaster, you could just buy a bag of sand and throw each grain individually. It'll still do the same job, but might take a little bit of time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Now you can buy also on Amazon, they're M8s, you can buy M10s as well. So you can put M10 bolts in, and that's really nice and compact way of doing your nuts and bolts. Or not nuts, well you could do nuts I suppose. But then again, nuts are so damn cheap that I'll just go and buy new ones. Over here in Canada land, we cannot buy flange headed bolts, not unless you go through a specialist dealer, and they are bloody expensive here. And usually you have to buy them in a box of 100 or something ridiculous like that. So that's a little tip. Keep all the bolts. You can put them in order if you want. I don't care, I can see everything I need. But you can put them all in order as you take them out. Keep them clean. Paint them up. Save a bit of money. Ta-da!